Hey fellow YouTubers, it's been quite a while since I last posted a video. My apologies, life happened, as it tends to do. I left the Augusta, Georgia area. I told my wife at the time, who was struggling to get a full-time job with her degree, nuclear medicine technologist, that she should cast a wide net. Let's see where we go. I'll support you and I can get a job anywhere, essentially. And I decided to go back to school at that point. So she cast a wide net with resumes, put in for some different job applications out there, and we landed in St. Louis, Missouri. Not the coolest place. Been here for almost 4 years, I think. Or it might be 4 years into it, coming up on 5. But I don't think I've ever posted a YouTube video from here regarding motorcycles. That's what this channel tends to be about, is me and bikes. Still have the NC 700X. Actually, I need to take it into the... I need to take my forks off first and then take the forks into the... there's a local bike shop here that I haven't been to yet. But as the curse with most of the Hondas that I know, tend to get that front fork seal that leaks. So that's the only thing that's going on with my NC 700X after all this time is my front fork seals right there have a leak. Just the one. The other side there is all good. But yeah, that's the update there with the bike. And maybe I'll try to focus on getting some videos. I do still have my helmet camera set up. Old Faithful here, my HJC helmet, complete with the Drift Ghost HD, which I used before the GoPros really came into popularity, but it's been working for me just fine. So yeah, you never know. I'll share something I'm dabbling in right now, but I'll wait to share that with you. So just hang in there for a moment. Let's see. So yeah, we ended up in St. Louis, and at that point, my bike videos just kind of went by the wayside. I didn't have any reason to travel. You know, it wasn't like I was commuting to a job every day. And, you know, that's how a lot of my vlogs happened, was because I was needing to ride every day to go to and from work. And so that was a great time to make some content and just talk to you guys and just share, you know, life in general and what have you, right? Those some great times. And hopefully maybe in the future that'll be back on the table. But, you know, I could just take some time out of my day and just kind of talk about things. So let's see. So yeah, 4 years in St. Louis. If you happen to live in St. Louis and you're a fan of my channel, by all means reach out. You know, the pandemic stuff's pretty much, you know, if we have to wear a mask at a place, that's cool. But St. Louis, we pretty much haven't been wearing masks. Got my vaccination. So if you want to go get a beer or something and just chill, you know, just drop me a line. I do really appreciate all the support that I've gotten from the community over the years with my YouTube channel. I was just looking at the stats. I'm like, wow, I almost had 1,000 subscribers, and YouTube told me they'd taken, you know, they don't monetize my videos anymore because I don't have 1,000 people. Well, whatever. I didn't really set out with the goal of having a YouTube channel to make money off of it. It was just more so like, let me just share my experiences and talk and share life, and, you know, it is what it is. So, what's been going on with me? Well, I went back to school. I got a clip on that. I'll put that in here somewhere. Might have been before or after. So I had some things happen in my life. For those that don't know, I was doing the technical trainer gig for quite a while. I actually started working for an IT company back in 2017, where I became the right-hand man, essentially, of my boss. My boss left the company and made the recommendation that I should fill his spot. For reference, he was the director of training. And I pretty much got passed up. They never filled the spot, but they expected me to do his job and my job and not get any more pay for it. So that was one straw. The other straw was that the company offered tuition reimbursement, and I was declined or denied tuition reimbursement. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? You don't want to invest in me as an employee, and you don't want to promote me either. Then I'm out of here, right? So there's no value in staying for a company like that. So I went back to school, and in 3 years, I managed to transferred my credits from the community college I went to, Augusta State University in Augusta, Georgia. And I went to Western Governors University. They're online, 100%. They have a really good reputation, and they're regionally accredited, which is the highest accreditation that you can get. So I did all my homework, right? I'm not just going to go to school just to get some worthless piece of paper. So I finished up my bachelor's in business management, and then I got an MBA. And I figured, why not? It's only like half of a master's at this point to get a management and leadership master's. So I got an MS in management and leadership. So there they all are on the wall. So damn if anyone's going to not promote me for not having a piece of paper. So if you can't beat the game, or how they say, if you want to play the whatever. I don't even remember what the quote is right now. Don't hate the player, hate the game, and if you can't beat them, join them. So there we go. So between all that, I just figured, hey, you guys want pieces of paper that say I'm smart? Well, there you go. Although I'm with Elon Musk when he says you can have a bachelor's degree and still be an idiot, because I've seen plenty of that. I'm working for a logistics company now, believe it or not. So using my business knowledge and know-how and my education of the hard knocks for training, which was almost a decade. So kind of like married to two right now. And so I'm really focused on having, empowering people essentially so they can do their job. And right now, the era of the great resignation and people not wanting to work, coupled with the fact that there's high gas prices right now, the economy isn't looking so great, like we're going into a recession. It's rough right now. It is. And so we've got some turnover in our industry, and anything I can do to help make people have an easier onboarding transition, understanding their job, giving them the tools that they need to succeed, and essentially just making it a better place for people to come to work. Why not? So that's kind of where I'm at with this. I'm actually developing a full-scale learning management system and been working on developing some courses. So you can kind of think of me as a content developer, if you will, which has been a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. Usually I was the instructor in front of the class just throwing things together on the fly, and now I actually get to build the little e-learning modules that you would take on the computer, clicking with your mouse to get through to the next slide, and eventually maybe taking a quiz and then get a certificate that you can print out. So it's cool. There's a lot of neat little things to learn with that. I'm fairly happy with what I'm doing at the moment. I had a friend refer me into this company. She said, Mike, and this is really funny because this has happened to me 3 times now. Every time I get a job, it's because someone wants me to come work for them, right? Or their company. And it's always something like, Mike, we really need you over here, man. We need you. Why don't you come on over here and use that brain of yours, because you like to fix things, and we've got some problems. Like, come on over here and just help us, right the ship. Like, we could use you. And I don't know what it is, man. I seem to be a sucker for it every time, but, why not? So my job at Electrolux, that's how that happened. I was brought in there to fix things, and I transformed that freaking center, which was glorious. I mean, to this day, that was probably my $1 million+ idea, something that I implemented over there. And, I don't see any of that. And they actually had the audacity to lay me off after 4.5 years. And then I went to an IT company after that, used my skills there for training, and was brought in because their training department wasn't doing so good, and revolutionized that. So it's just been like this ongoing thing where I just come in and I help fix things. I have a really good eye for that, and I found out through my schooling when they have you do these different kind of like personality tests from a business perspective. I am a very strategic thinker, very analytical, and I love finding solutions to problems. So that's kind of like been my forte, right? So why not? If you love it, do it. So that's kind of that. So who knows where I'll be in the future? And yeah, it's just crazy. Let's see here. If you guys remember Jennifer from one of my, I think it was the NC700X review that I did, maybe part 1 or part 2. Part 1 because we were in the parking lot. Part 2 was when I was writing it. Jennifer, I got married to Jennifer. So back then, I think we were dating, and then we got married, and we've been married for 5 years. Actually, just this March. So that's pretty dope. So that's been going pretty well. Trying to think what else. Job, wife, no kids. No kids. People usually ask me, like, Mike, when are you gonna have kids? Mike doesn't want to have any kids. I'm kid enough. And besides, that's more money for me to go do fun things. Speaking of fun things, I'm going to go ahead and reveal what it is that I'm dabbling in now, right? So if I'm not riding motorcycles, how am I going to get my adrenaline fix, right? Like, there's always going to be a part of me, like the adventure, the excitement. What is next for Skeletor? Well, let's see. I'm gonna share my bookshelf. All right, so here we are at my bookshelf. So I had the great idea, and this is my German Shepherd. His name is Finn. You can say hi there, buddy. There he is. I had the great idea that I was gonna get my private pilot license. Airplanes, yo. Why not? So I looked into what it would take, right? What's it gonna take to become a private pilot? I don't need to go flying freaking 747s. That's not in my life. But I want to be able to hop in a plane and go places. I want to do some traveling. So, someone's like joking and like, you have to read big books for that. I'm like, really? I'm not scared of big books. But maybe I kind of underestimated what exactly was in store for me with this. So this is the Federal Aviation Regulations for 2022. And it's this thick. And just for perspective, like, here's my hand. In fact, this is typically like a little bigger than an inch right there when you kind of take a look at that. Look at this sucker, right? So that's just one book. Now, it's a lot of legalese and FAA stuff, so that's not, you don't really need to know everything in there, but you should know some, right? This is the Mikado Private Pilot Handbook right here. Also, you can see where I'm cruising on through the book, but again, another thick guy. And then, you got to have all the tools, right? I got like a flight calculator. I've got this plotter, so I got a kit online with some things. I got the airplane flying handbook right here. I've got the Pilot Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge, another one. And then, there's a testing supplement that this is what you're going to be using on like the FAA test when you go take that. And then, if that wasn't enough, we got my bookshelf back here. So one of the courses I was doing on this stuff actually brought in a freaking meteorologist. A meteorologist, like a legit weather person, to talk about aviation weather. So we got 2 books on aviation weather, because you got to know this stuff, or, oh goodness gracious, if you, I'm not going to die. I mean, I'm going to die one day, but I'm not going to die because I put a plane in a situation where I shouldn't have been in the sky to begin with, right? Or, I got to get out of that situation. This was last year's FAR AIM, so we don't count that one anymore because it's outdated. There is the Student Pilot's Flight Manual. And for a while there, I was even thinking about going into the Air Force as an officer, so I got the AFOQT study guide, which also has pilot stuff in there because they require everyone to take stuff there. But I can never be a fighter pilot or anything like that because, we'll stick it to military fighter pilots, right? Or military pilot. I actually have a condition, or we're not going to say condition. We have a genetic defect. I actually have red weakness in my eyeball, so I'm not colorblind. Color weakness and colorblind is completely different things. This red shirt that I'm wearing apparently to people is brighter to you guys. Or a shiny red, like candy apple sports car is brighter to you. And to me, it's more of a duller color. But I never knew I had a red deficiency until I was in my college level biology class. And we were looking at the little circle with the numbers. I'll be damned, man. I can't do those. It saved my life. I was doing some editing on my video and I realized that someone might want to chip in and comment, but let me go ahead and beat you to it. For those that are kind of wondering about my color weakness, I actually, since I can't see the numbers in the circles, I have to do an alternate color vision testing that's approved by the FAA. It's actually using a really old device from the 70s called a Farnsworth lantern. and I can pass that test to prove that I can see colors. So it shines red, green, or white, and there's two little you look inside this device, and it's either there's two lights that are stacked one on top of the other, and it's either going to show red, white, or green, and they're independent of each other. So you can have like two reds, two greens, two whites, or you can be like red, white, green, white, white, green, white, white. And so you have to tell the examiner exactly what you see from the top light and the bottom light that's in there. So I can pass that test, and because I am able to pass that test, I don't have any restrictions on my third class medical that I picked up. So I'm good for the next few years should I decide to operate a plane by myself. That's all covered. There's a military flight book here, Barron's for passing military flight one. So just kind of different perspectives. And then after you do your private pilot test for the FAA, the written test, which is kind of its own thing, you have to actually go up into the air. Now, you have to have a flight instructor. You got to do like 40 hours. Most people take 60 to 70 of practical experience with the certified flight instructor. And then when you are ready, they sign you off for solo flight, and then they'll do a check ride flight. But your check ride flight is with another examiner from the FAA. And so there is an oral exam guide. So little pocket guide here, if you will, to go over a lot of those questions that you can get asked. And just like going for your car driver's license, you have to actually demonstrate your proficiency, and they do things like simulate, like, hey, you need to do an emergency landing, this just happened, or whatever. Like, what are you going to do? So pretty cool stuff. I'm looking forward to the journey. I've already got a certified flight instructor picked out that I would like to use here in the St. Louis area, but that was like a year ago when I got his name. Actually, I don't think it's been a year. But let's just say that I've been working on doing more studying because I want to learn all I can about airplanes. And you have to know all this stuff. You got to know everything from the engines in the plane to the fact that you have a bunch of redundancies. Like, I never knew they had independent magnetos to generate sparks, and there's two magnetos in there. So when you compare it to like a car or a motorcycle, it's completely different. You can actually turn magnetos on and off as part of your pre-check, your pre-flight check, to make sure that everything is okay with your spark plugs. And what else did I like? Turbo. How does turbo work? Same way it works on a car as it does in a plane. Compresses the air so you get better combustion. Had no clue about that because I didn't have anything with turbo in it, so I got to learn. I didn't know that the wings for most planes is where the gas tank was. Who would have known? So lots of little things, but you gotta know everything from that to maneuvers to how all the stuff works, what can go wrong, so on and so forth. So that's my journey. Might be a little while before I'm up in the air, but I'm gonna make it happen, man. It's happening. So who knows? Maybe the next time YouTube video comes out, I'll be by plane, because I think that would be some pretty cool content. And you can let me know if you want to see content like that. I know this has primarily been a motorcycle channel, but I'm pretty sure that the same dudes that are like motorcycles, I mean, planes are just, I mean, they have three wheels. That's like a trike, but with wings. So yeah, hopefully it would be neat to kind of segue over into that. Maybe I could show like some tips and stuff for how I study or anything like that. So yeah, lots of books, lots of fun to learn about how to eventually become a private pilot. I got a lot of respect for anyone that is a private pilot. And for the commercial pilots out there, I salute you, because that's even more. That's private pilot plus instrument rating plus commercial rating. And then you probably have multi-engine, so you can fly the twin engine planes. And yeah, so if you happen to know anyone in general aviation, let me know, because I wouldn't mind making some friends in that community so I can get some tips and tricks and advice from other people that have decided to go down this path or know a little something. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's my update. So yeah, I'll see you guys around, and thanks for the people who comment, wondering, if I was okay, or, it's been a while, where's an update, and what's been happening? Do you still ride bikes? And yeah, I still ride my bike when it's working. I didn't want to put fork sale oil everywhere. So yeah, I got to get that up and going. So I'll probably make a YouTube video when I finish that, take it out for a ride, take you guys along. Maybe I'll show you some cool parts of St. Louis. Maybe go on the interstate right past the arch. A lot of people like the arch here. Yeah, so yeah, I'll think of some ideas. I'll try not to be so estranged, if you will, and maybe we can give this channel a reboot. So, peace out, take care, have fun, all that good stuff. I think I did that the right way. Whatever way doesn't offend people overseas, that's the one I mean to do. I'm not saying anything bad there, and I can never remember which one. I think outwards is the proper way to do it, like British. Yeah. So anyway, toodles.